Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing lately: smart glasses. Not just any smart glasses, but the kind that have cameras built in, like Meta's Ray-Bans or Kmart's Anko glasses. Here's the kicker: Australia's privacy czar is sounding the alarm, saying these gadgets could seriously mess with our privacy. But here's what makes this really interesting: it's not just about the tech itself, it's about how it's reshaping our interactions, both in public and private spaces. Personally, I think this is a tipping point moment. We're not just talking about a new gadget, we're talking about a fundamental shift in how we perceive privacy. What many people don't realize is that these glasses are so discreet, you might not even know you're being recorded. And that's where things get tricky. Australia's Privacy Commissioner, Carly Kind, pointed out that the current Privacy Act doesn't cover individuals, only businesses and government agencies. So, if someone's recording you with their smart glasses, there's not much legal ground to stand on. This raises a deeper question: are our laws even equipped to handle this kind of tech? I mean, if you take a step back and think about it, we're essentially walking into a world where consent to being recorded is becoming a luxury, not a given. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Companies like Meta and Apple are already in the game, and by 2027, we're likely to see even more players. What this really suggests is that smart glasses aren't just a fad, they're here to stay. But here's the thing: while most of the time, the data collected might just sit in some data center, there's a real risk of misuse. Think about it: what if someone uses these glasses to surveil vulnerable groups, like children or domestic violence victims? Or worse, for corporate espionage? A detail I find fascinating is how this tech could blur the lines between public and private spaces. It's not just about being recorded, it's about the psychological impact of knowing you could be recorded at any moment. From my perspective, the government's response is both reassuring and concerning. Attorney General Michelle Rowland acknowledged the issue and promised reforms, but the question is, will it be enough? The proposed changes to the Privacy Act are a step in the right direction, especially with higher standards around consent and protections on geolocation data. But here's the catch: the act still doesn't cover personal data collected by individuals. So, if someone records you and stores that data locally, it's kind of a gray area. This is where I think we need to pause and ask, are we moving fast enough to keep up with the pace of innovation? One thing that immediately stands out is the role of public trust. As long as people don't trust tech companies, any new product is going to face an uphill battle. Meta's advice to users, like respecting people's preferences and not covering the LED light, feels like a band-aid solution. In my opinion, it's not enough to rely on user etiquette. We need robust laws and clear guidelines. Otherwise, we're just leaving the door open for abuse. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just an Australian problem, it's global. Smart glasses are going to be everywhere, and every country is going to have to grapple with these issues. What makes this really interesting is how it ties into broader trends, like the rise of surveillance culture and the erosion of privacy in the digital age. Personally, I think this is a wake-up call. We can't just sit back and let tech companies dictate the terms. We need to be proactive, not reactive. So, here's my closing thought: smart glasses are more than just a gadget, they're a mirror reflecting our societal values. Do we prioritize convenience over privacy? Innovation over ethics? These are questions we can't afford to ignore. What do you think? Are smart glasses a step forward, or a step too far? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you're wearing smart glasses right now, maybe give me a heads up: just kidding, or am I?